Okay, today we are playing a game on Busan. We are in the gold SR range, and we will be playing Mercy the entire way through. And our current team composition is Hammond, Diva, Hanzo, Tracer, Moira, and Mercy. So, I ain't got anything to say about it. Let's just start the game. A very boring team comp. We do have Hammond as a main tank, and I'm distrustful of most people that try to play Hammond as a main tank. He can be, don't get me wrong, but you know how people be. So we're doing some healing people at full health in here. We don't want to be doing that. We're doing a fair bit of healing people at full health, the Diva specifically, which we don't want to do. Very bad efficiency. The goal is to be using the damage boost as much as possible. Much like Lucio, the speed boost, the goal is speed boosting as much as possible is the goal. Overshiz is a little bit of an aggressive shootout because we fly right past all of our teammates to not really get to anybody. And then we're suddenly on the front line. Nobody killed us for it, so that's nice, but if someone was a little bit more poised, they might have gotten us as we came around the corner. Or tried to get on us as we came around the corner. So, been a good day so far. Haven't really had to see the enemy that much. Even in here, like we're doing some healing people. And we could be damage boosting people. Because we can see that Moira is currently healing people. She's just used the orb and she's holding left click. So these people are going to be fine, health-wise. We could be damage boosting them in there as well. Right now we could be damage boosting as well. Diva got a little separated right there, but we could be damage boosting. Moira's using Coalescence right now. Diva's like a little wounded, but like Moira's using Coalescence. If Diva loses her mech, like, what fucking Diva should have been more careful, alright? I'm a simple man. I like to see the bad men take a lot of damage very quickly. I'm a very simple man. So anyway, we've managed to capture the checkpoint now. Hooray. Didn't really see the enemy team very much, so that was good. Genji used Dragon Blade a second ago, and he's been nano-boosted only now. So Moira presumably has the slowest reaction time a human's ever had, actually. And it didn't really get anybody very far. Winston was using Primal Rage so that he could feed with greater efficiency. The tire is currently coming, so that's why we've broken our tether. We took some damage. I like how we looked at the ground to pray as well. Please, if I can't see him, he can't see me. And we didn't die, so it works out. We've revived Moira, the only person who did die to the tire, so Junkrat's probably pretty upset about that one. The enemy team are doing us a fair few favors right now by just kind of running in one by one. Popped Valkyrie a little bit early, for my liking, but the fight's happening, so it's not like it's terrible, but I think we could have held the Valkyrie for a little bit longer. So either way, enemy team still not doing a very good job of really grouping up to actually go for a push. Blizzard in the minefield did a lot to slow them down as well, but we've been, like, remarkably unpressured this entire time so far. And, you know, Mercy's one of those heroes where, like, when nobody's trying to get you, it's, like, the greatest experience in all of life. We should be damage boosting Hanzo right now, especially since he's, like, just used Storm Arrow and everything. We're damage boosting Diva, dramatically less exciting than damage boosting Hanzo. Okay. Genji's using Dragon Blade. We've put an adequate amount of moves on him. It was a little scary to go for the res right there and then, but Dragon Blade was over, so he couldn't actually finish us off. It was a little bit scary, but we cunningly outplayed him by going around the corner, and he was like, well, fuck, now what? So this Valkyrie we've popped, like, real early. The fight hadn't nowhere near properly begun yet there. So we could have used that one later. This is going to be the last fight, and Valkyrie does last for about 1,000 years. So, not the end of the world. We can't really res that person right now without significant risk of death. Now we can actually res the person without significant risk of death because they're hiding from our self-destruct. Now we've got to hide from their self-destruct. I was a little afraid we were going to back up into the explosion, but we didn't, and look at that, easy peasy. So they started pressuring us more towards the end, but really, like, barely had to deal with it as the enemy. Oh, well, isn't this just delightful? And then Moira's here. Mercy, man, when you're playing Mercy and nobody's trying to kill you, it's like the greatest feeling in the world. It's like when you're playing Ashe, Soldier, Widow, nobody tries to get you. Oh, what a liberating experience it is. So I don't think we've not been damage boosting as much as we could have been, and we haven't been damage boosting the DPS as much as we could have been as well. We've been like tethered to like D.Va a lot during this game. We're damage boosting her earlier when she was next to Hanzo, so we haven't been damage boosting as much as we could be, which is one of the few points of articulation Mercy has, really, as far as the match goes, how much you damage boost people. That's why I don't like Mercy, is that, like, sometimes there's just not really a lot you can do about the situation, because Mercy is basically an amplifier for her teammates. You know, if you've got average teammates, you can make them good teammates, but if you've got meh teammates, you can just only make them, like, okay teammates, right? But if your teammates are good, you can make them excellent. She's very beholden to her teammates, unfortunately. Which is also a shame given how popular she is. She's like by far one of the most popular supports and has been since the game launched. So it's a little unfortunate. So Genji's used Dragon Blade right there. If we're gonna do it, just go do it right at the start and try and get away from him, because he pulls out the Dragon Blade right now. We could just immediately pop Valkyrie and be like, I don't want anything to do with this, I leave now. Instead, we, like, get cut, then use Valkyrie, but by that point, he's only got to cut us one more time to actually finish us off. If you're gonna use Valkyrie to try and dodge an ultimate, you can't hesitate. You've got to just go for it, man. You've got to just do it. So we end up dying, very tragic. That's the first time we've died this entire game, so by all accounts, we're doing fantastically so far. Deaths, I think, is always the only stat really worth tracking, but if we're talking about supports, like, deaths is by far the most important stat as far as I'm concerned. So we did start damage boosting him here, that's good, but Genji's deflecting right now, so he's not gonna shoot him. So we actually could have been healing him for a little bit longer in there before we changed the damage boost. And that's how he gets ya. Oh, he always says to use the damage boost more, and then the second I use the damage boost, he tells me not to. Yeah, that's how I get you. So, we could be damage boosting people in here. We're doing some healing people at full health. We could assume Hammond was going to take damage, but he ended up not actually taking any damage, so he ended up being quite inefficient. So Soldier's using Tac Visor. We've taken a longer path to get to cover right here, because we're walking forward, and we can see Soldier's using Tac Visor over here. Now, granted, Genji's behind us right now, trying to kill us as well, so we can go back around this corner to try and dodge Soldier, and then we won't be dodging Genji, but Genji might not kill us. Soldier absolutely will kill us with Tac Visor. So we, you know, chances of survival, pretty low overall. Wow, some serious e-bullying's happening over there. Oh my goodness. I like how we can't see the blizzard effect, so it just looks like D.Va's frozen for no particular reason, but goodness gracious me, is D.Va uninstalling the game right fucking now. Just don't even close the application, just go over, control panel, uninstall. That's what was happening right there. Wouldn't you, after that happened to you? So anyway, she feels bad about that one. She's gonna be tilted for the rest of her life. And isn't that really all that matters? They're still up here having a great time hanging out, but Genji didn't get the fucking memo. Fucking no fun allowed over here. Everybody's having a great time dancing, and then suddenly some fucking edgelord comes up and is like, you wanna see my knife collection? And that's basically what happened right there. So, miraculously enough, only one person really died. We couldn't really res them without significant risk of death, tragically, but the fight's still going okay in spite of that. It is a little scary to float out in open space like this because there are some ultimates that are very scary when you're doing that. For example, Tac Visor. Deadeye as well. So it's kind of scary to just float out in open space as, Mercy, because you still need something you can get to cover from if bad times start happening. So everything's all falling apart very rapidly, and, you know, I don't see any way we particularly change the outcome ourselves. It's just sort of, you know, Mercy's kind of that way. You can carry as a support, no doubt, but, like, Mercy, she's the support that more than anyone else can really get into some, like, what am I gonna do about this kind of situations, right? And Hanzo and Mei have not really been trying particularly hard this round, so that means both our DPS have not been putting in too much effort, which makes it very difficult to actually kill people, you know? So Genji's using Dragon Blade right now, just trying to, like, feather the point as much as possible. The reses are very scary to go for, so I don't blame for not wanting to go for that one. You can get away with some pretty ridiculous reses when you're in Valkyrie, but it's real scary. So, ooh, ooh. I mean, if they're gonna dance in front of the Frozen Diva, they're gonna dance in front of the Frozen Diva, right? Life is difficult like that. So, now we've got a Reinhardt instead of a Diva, and a Tracer instead of a Hanzo. So, suddenly our damage boost has gotten a lot less valuable. I wouldn't personally continue playing Mercy at this point, because as far as I'm concerned, like, if we're playing Mercy, if there's no, like, really good DPS to damage boost, it's like, why be Mercy over any other healer at that point? Because, no healer's ever picked because of the healing they output, you know? Moira is sometimes, but, like, really, when you pick a healer, the only reason to pick them over any other is, like, the utility they have attached to them. And this is why Ana is, of course, very good, because of the amount of utility she has. So it's like, if we're gonna pick Mercy, as far as I'm concerned, you need to have, like, somebody that's good to damage boost. Like, really good to damage boost. Like, Soldier, Widow, Bastion, Hanzo, you know, these kinds of people, Ashe, someone really good to damage boost, because otherwise it's like, well, now, like, half of Mercy's utility is suddenly not really there, which means we're left with Res and Valkyrie's, like, AoE, which is not particularly exciting, so I wouldn't personally keep playing Mercy, after seeing that swap, but I also personally would have never been playing Mercy to begin with, so perhaps I'm not a fair point of comparison. So we do have a Batista. The Immortality Field is a really good ability, so that's cool. People were saying Batista was really weak the first couple days he was released, and my experience, now that people actually know how to play him, is like, oh boy, that's a pretty good support right there. And in certain situations, he feels just, like, disgustingly overpowered. Depending on how many people there are to really take advantage of the amplification matrix. But oh, very risky one to go for. I wouldn't have gone for it at all. But hey, now we're going for it. They are significantly more distracted at that point, so we can get away with it. Reinhardt has gone off to do his best to get himself killed, and he's succeeded. You know how those Reinhardt players are. I know how those Reinhardt players are. So someone's been capping the point this entire time. We're healing people at full health right now. Don't want to be doing that. Very bad efficiency. You know, for the most part, like, we're pretty much playing Mercy. We haven't been as efficient, like, right now, it could be damage boosting. Oh god, ooh, very unfortunate timing. Took a little bit of time to get back in the Immortality Field, which could have been disastrous, but we live, all is well. So Immortality Field's a really good ability. Pharah was just immediately like, God fucking damn it, Jesus Christ. So, anyway, things have been going well. This round, much more even. Nobody's, like, dancing in front of the Frozen Diva, who's in the Blizzard, so it's feeling a lot better. Sombra is now trying her best to kill us. We got hacked, so we have very little in the way of options at that point. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if nobody's trying to help you in this kind of situation, right? Like, nobody's trying. I mean, they just got earth shattered. Nobody else is trying. Hack lasts forever. Just pull out the pistol and try to fend her off, because nobody's trying to help us. Gotta help ourselves. Don't be afraid. You know, if the bad men are there trying to kill you, nobody's helping you, you take out that pistol and you show that bad man who's boss. You fucking show him. I think in general, Mercy players are too adverse to pulling out their pistol. Now, there are people on the opposite end that are too ready to pull out their pistol, of course, as well. And I think, generally speaking, Mercy players are too afraid to use their pistol overall. Like, if you see an opportunity to kill someone, if nobody's helping you, you shoot that man. So we really want to res this Hammond. The reason I'm adverse to doing it is A, it's scary. But B, Reinhardt looks like he's gonna die if we stop healing him. And as far as I'm concerned, if we're playing Mercy, the people who are currently still alive take precedent over the people who are currently dead. You know, we want to res people, obviously, resing them's cool, but, like, if it's gonna come at the cost of someone else's life, we've got to make sure that it's a really, like, we're really trading up in terms of lives, you know? So, very scary to go for that res. Junkrat's right there. Junkrat's now using the tire, so we immediately break the tether. Go and hide. Gone now. Now we're hacked again, because we've just been emped. Fortunately, they weren't in position to capitalize on it, but it was still really scary in spite of that. Hammond's going in, feeding us a lot of ult charge. We've just gained like 30% ult charge off of that Hammond, and he's actually not full health yet. So this is much too dangerous to go for. Junkrat's right there. He isn't going to stop. He's just seen he hit us with one bomb. That man is not going to stop. So that's, I don't want to go for that one anymore. That's where I back up or pull out the pistol and try and kill Junkrat before proceeding. Junkrat's pretty easy to hit. Either way, though, can't do that. He's right fucking there. And, oh, look at that. It was going very well, and then suddenly it all fell apart. Such is life. That man's name, XD420 haha 69, is one of the most infuriating names I've ever seen, and I've seen the names that are spelt with 27 umlauts but only 5 characters, you know? Imagine tryharding in gold. Yeah, imagine that, dude. Wanting to try and climb? Isn't that unbelievable? Who does that in fucking gold, right? What we got? Terrible, awful, bad. Good, excellent, very bad, awful. From low GSP, okay, alright. Alright, whatever. Okay. Okay. Very bad, awful. Very bad, awful. Very good boy. No, I hate the Overwatch Workshop. There's some cool stuff that's come out of it, but no. Alright, sure. Whatever. What happened here? Dude, I've never even seen this one before. What the fuck happened? Something did go terribly wrong. No, terrible, awful, Ben Shapiro. Nope. No, sir. I thought it, okay, until I caught him cheating. Also terrible. Very, very bad. Very, very bad job, Google algorithm. In particular, man. The Ben Shapiro videos are all just like, SJW gets owned with facts and logic, and it's always just Ben Shapiro making an ass of himself, but the title's like, he got fucking owned. What a god. Yeah. That's definitely what it looked like happened. That's the classic strategy right there. Upload a video where you make an ass of yourself, and then just title it like you know what the fuck you were doing, and suddenly the whole perception of you changes. Classic strategy. I use it all the time. So anyway, played Mercy, pretty much. Like, I don't think we changed the outcome of that game, personally. We just could have been more efficient throughout the game, pretty much. And that's kind of the Mercy experience, really, isn't it? Well, I could have been more efficient, but did I win? Could I have personally won the game, like hard carried that game as Mercy? No. It's very difficult to hard carry as Mercy. That's why I don't like playing Mercy. I like playing most other supports. I like playing more Bridget. I don't like playing Batista, but I've found it fairly easy to carry games as Batista because his utility really saves people from doing stupid shit, you know? So that's cool. Played Mercy, pretty much, though, and that's about all I got for you, really. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just ship post with us. Started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description below. And if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.